It happens in the middle of a perfectly normal conversation. Someone asks you a simple question. So, how was your weekend? You aren't anxious. You aren't shy. You know exactly what to say. But suddenly, you feel a physical resistance to opening your mouth. It feels like the connection between your brain and your voice box has been severed. You watch their lips moving, you hear the words, but formulating a response feels like lifting a 100-pound weight. You force a smile. You give a short, one-word answer. And inside, you just want to go silent. You look at other people talking effortlessly, sentences flowing like water, interruptions, laughter, storytelling, and you feel like you're operating on a delay. For them, talking is breathing. For you, talking is manual labor. The guilt hits you instantly. You think, I like this person. Why is talking to them so exhausting? Why does every sentence feel like a transaction I can't afford? You start to label yourself. Maybe I am broken. Maybe I don't care about people anymore. Maybe I have lost my empathy. You feel like a radio transmitter that has run out of battery. You are receiving the signal, but you have zero power left to broadcast. You are nodding, but you aren't really there. Is this depression? Are you turning into a misanthrope? Or is your brain trying to protect you from a specific type of overload? Stay with me, because this refusal to speak isn't a malfunction. It is a signal. Let's clear your name. This lack of desire to communicate is not a defect in your personality. It is a resource management strategy of your biology. To understand why words fail you, we have to look at the prefrontal cortex and the dopamine system. Conversation is not free. It is one of the most cognitively expensive tasks a human can perform. You have to listen, decode tone, read micro-expressions, search your memory, formulate a sentence, and monitor your own voice, all in milliseconds. For the talkative brain, this process releases dopamine. Socializing is a reward loop. They talk, they feel good, they talk more. But for you, if you relate to this video, your reward system is likely wired differently. Social interaction doesn't give you energy, it takes it. You have a high-cost social brain. You process interactions deeply, analyzing layers of meaning that others might miss. When your battery is low, your brain performs a load-shedding protocol. Just like a building cuts power to non-essential systems during a crisis, your brain cuts power to the social output centers to preserve energy for internal processing. The silence isn't an attack on the other person. It is your brain going into power save mode. It is saying, we do not have the fuel to process this data stream right now. You aren't antisocial. You are biologically depleted. Your brain is trying to stop the output to save the machine. Here is the trap. Because you feel guilty about your silence, you try to fix it with more talking. Standard advice says, fake it till you make it. Ask more questions. Be a better listener. So you force it. You put on the social mask. You script your responses. You nod enthusiastically. You drag the conversation forward like a broken cart. But this forced chatting creates a dangerous paradox. Imagine you are vomiting, but you force yourself to keep eating. That is what forced socializing feels like to your exhausted brain. You are shoving more input into a system that is desperately trying to reject it. The result is social burnout. When you finally escape the conversation, you don't just feel tired, you feel angry. You feel a sudden, irrational irritation at anyone who tries to speak to you, even your partner, even your kids. If your phone rings, you stare at it like it's a bomb. If someone asks, "What's for dinner?" you want to scream. By forcing yourself to perform conversation when you were empty, you have created an aversion. You have trained your brain to associate human voices with pain. You aren't fixing the connection. You are fraying the wire until it snaps. We need to stop fighting the silence and start respecting it. The shift is this: stop viewing conversation as a duty and start viewing it as an investment. You do not owe the world your voice 24/7. Here is how to reframe this in 3 steps. 1. The bandwidth declaration. Stop lying. Stop pretending you are listening when you aren't. Instead, use a status update phrase with your close circle. I want to hear this, but my brain is offline right now. Can we talk in an hour? This saves you from fake listening and saves them from talking to a wall. Most people respect honesty more than a glazed over stare. 2. Replace chatter with presence. We assume connection requires words. It doesn't. Shift to companionable silence. This is the gold standard of intimacy. Sitting in the same room, reading separate books, driving in the car without the radio or talking. You are connecting through proximity, not processing. You are together, but your processor is resting. This is how you recharge intimacy without draining the battery. 3. The quality versus quantity audit. You have a limited number of words per day. Don't waste them on small talk that bores you. Introverts often hate chatter but love deep dives. If you feel drained by surface-level gossip, try shifting the conversation to something real. Ironically, talking about complex ideas is often less draining for us than pretending to care about the weather, because it engages our genuine interest. If it's not interesting, give yourself permission to end it. There is a profound difference between being silent and being empty. In a world that never stops talking, silence is often mistaken for sadness. But for you, silence is where you come alive. It is where you sort your thoughts. It is where you regain yourself. Your lack of desire to speak right now is not a sign that you don't love people. It is a sign that you need to listen to yourself for a while. The people who truly love you will understand that your silence isn't a rejection. It's a cocoon, and when you emerge from it, you will have something worth saying. So don't force the words. Let the battery charge. The world will wait for your voice to come back. If this video helped you understand your own mind, subscribe. We are building a quiet place for the deep thinkers. Take your time. Thanks for watching.